I recently got back from my summer vacation to my hometown in Italy. I decided to make this video to introduce you to Lago Maggiore, the best place on earth.
Lake Maggiore, or
Lago Maggiore,
is a large lake located in northern Italy and southern Switzerland. The first archaeological findings of the area belong to a nomadic people of a prehistoric time. The first settlement discovered dated from 3500 BC. The area was under the control of the Ligures, later replaced by the Celts, later conquered by the Romans.
During the centuries, it fell under the influence and control of Longobardi, Ducato of Milan, the Spanish, the French, and the Austro-Hungarian Empire, until it became Italy in 1861.
Lake Maggiore is featured in Ernest Hemingway's novel, Farewell to Arms.
Without further ado, let's see what to visit. Isola Bella. In 1632, Carlo III of the influential House of Borromeo began the construction of the palace dedicated to his wife. The works were interrupted when the Duchy of Milan was struck by the plague. Construction resumed with Carlo's sons, Cardinal Gilberto III and Vitaliano VI, that turned the villa into a place of sumptuous parties and theatrical events for the nobility of Europe. The island achieved its highest level of social success during the period of Gilberto V, when guests included Edward Gibbon, Napoleon, the Empress Josephine de Beauharnais, Caroline Brunswick, Princess of Wales. Besides the palace and the magnificent Italian-style garden, there is a really small picturesque town with souvenir stands, restaurants and bars. Isola Pescatori, meaning Fisherman's Island, and also known as Isola Superiore. It's a small town with great restaurants and food shops. A narrow street running along its spine is joined by cobbled alleys to the promenade that encircles the island. As the name suggests, you must stop here and try some typical dish with fresh lake fish, my preferred, risotto pesce persico. Visit also the Fishing Museum and the Church of San Vittore, Victor the Moor, that retains traces of the ancient chapel of the mid-9th century. Adjacent to the church, a small cemetery.
Castelli di Cannero, or Cannero's castles. The actual fortress of 1521 was built over the ruins of an earlier castle called Malpaga, which had been used since the 15th century as a refuge by the powerful, cruel pirate family of Mazzarditi. These 5 brothers took control of the town of Cannobio, terrorizing the inhabitants of the district with their acts of violence and piracy. The ruins are currently under restoration, but you have 2 options to see them. 1. Get a ferry boat ticket to Cannero, or 2. Rent a private boat. In this way you can get closer and swim to the castle if you feel up to it. Laveno Mombello. Here you can breathe the fairy tale atmosphere surrounded by the blue sky and the green of the mountains in spring and summer, or the red and yellow colors of the fall. From Laveno, you can catch the funivia, literally a bucket lift that will fly you to the top of the mountains, overlooking a breathtaking scenery of a lake and mountains. From the top, you can watch the paragliders and parachutes flying off the mountains. Steve tried the experience. If you want to see the whole video experience, click on the title on the right upper corner. My preferred way to reach the top of the mountain is to take 1 hour, 1.5 hour hike walking through the ancient donkey path, La Mulattiera, from Laveno downtown up to the amazing typical local mountain food restaurant, Capanna Gigliola. From here, you can admire the view of the lake and have an incredible 8-course meal if you choose Gigliola menu. everything is fresh and homemade. Don't worry, you deserve to eat everything after that hike. I promise you, you will not gain any pounds. From here, you can keep walk along the path that goes up to the Funivia station. It's only 20-30 minutes, and you can descend back comfortably in your bucket. In Laveno, there are also some rocky beaches that are walkable distance from downtown, and a large sand one located in the neighborhood of Cerro in Laveno Mombello. This neighborhood has a picturesque square worth the visit. FYI, we shot here our last short film. As you can see from the images, it's based in 1938, and its main theme is against violence against women. For more news about it, stay tuned. In the meantime, enjoy this backstage picture of the short film. Eremo di Santa Caterina del Sasso. This hermitage is a Roman Catholic monastery perched on a rocky cliff. It was founded by Alberto Besozzi, a wealthy local merchant who was caught by a storm while on his boat. He prayed Saint Catherine of Egypt for survival. When everything seemed lost, he found a cave where he found refuge. In honor of this miracle and to thank Saint Catherine, he decided to build on this spot the monastery and conduct the life of an hermit, giving to the poor his wealth. Dominicans, Carmelites, Benedictine took residence here throughout the centuries. At the beginning of the 18th century, 5 enormous rocks crashed down onto the church but came to halt in the vault of the chapel right above the Beato Alberto's mummy. These rocks miraculously didn't cause any serious damage, remaining suspended there for almost 2 centuries. These unsteady rocks would appear to have given the name to the hermitage, that means Saint Catherine of the Dancing Rocks. To get to the place, you can take the steps from the top of the cliff, or a James Bond feel elevator inside the rock, or get there by the ferry. Rocca di Angera. This castle was probably first built around the 11th century. Archaeologists found an ancient cave that was used for pagan rituals, probably of the cult of Mitra, late Roman time. Before 1227, the castle belonged to Della Torre family, who lost possession to Visconti after the Battle of Desio. In 1449, it passed under the ownership of the Borromeo family. The castle was a self-sufficient town in the medieval Renaissance period. You can still see the original wine press from 1600 and the farming tools. The castle contains some beautiful original frescoes from 1277 and on. The castle also contains a doll museum that displays over 1,000 dolls made between the 18th century and the present day, and a medieval garden, definitely worth the visit. Mottarone Mountain. The peak of Mottarone can be reached by a 30-minute ride on a cableway. The cableway station is right in front of the ferryboat arrivals in Carciano, so it's easy to get there. During the winter, Mottarone Mountain is really famous for skiing. On the first stop of the cable ride, there is an alpine botanic garden. On the second stop and last one of this cabin lift, there are a few good mountains restaurants with a breathtaking view. From here, you can take the ski lift and reach the very top. On the top, there is a bobsled roller coaster that is open all over the year. We did it, even if I was terrified, but it's actually pretty fun, so don't miss it. Stresa is a resort town on the Piedmont shore of the lake. Landmark buildings includes Villa Pallavicino and the Grand Hôtel des Îles de Borromée, where author Hemingway once stayed and got inspired to write A Farewell to Arms. In fact, part of the story is based here. Stresa is famous for its classical music festival and the debutante ball. San Carlone statue. This massive bronze 500-year-old statue represents San Charles Borromeo. It is located near Arona town. You can actually visit the interior of the statue, climbing through narrow stairs and ladders until the top, where you can peer through the eyes and ears of the saint. Isola Madre, literally Mother Island. This Borromeo island is especially known for its gardens. It has also a small villa that you can visit. In the middle of the 9th century, the island had a church and a cemetery, whose existence is recalled by the current Staircase of the Dead. The island is famous for its microclimate that make it possible a flourishing growth of Mediterranean vegetation. During the summertime, you will probably experience some of the numerous local food festivals. Great food, great wine, cheap prices, and at the same time, you will support a local cause. The lake hosts also the famous Ascona Jazz Festivals and the Locarno Film Fest. There is way more stuff to visit and discover on Lago Maggiore. As you can see, this is just a little taste. I will make more video as soon as I go back to my hometown. But tell me, what would you like to see? What would you like to discover about the area? These places of my childhood inspired the fantasy novel that I wrote called Little D. Click on the link on the upper corner for more infos. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and check out the other videos and playlists with different topics. And it's also a way to stay up to date on all our projects and news. And please remember to subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Grazie mille.